Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue practicing adding fractions with different denominators. Let's take a look at this first problem. 1/2 plus 1/3. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that in this case, we won't be able to turn just one of the fractions into the same denominator as the other one, because you can see 2 doesn't divide properly into 3 and vice versa as well. So what do we do here? Our goal here is now to find the lowest number that both 2 and 3 are factors of, or we're basically trying to find the least common LCM which is an acronym for the least common multiple of a bunch of numbers. So in this case, it's basically saying what's the smallest number that is a multiple of both 2 and 3. So the way we're going to find this is we can list out a couple of the first multiples of both 2 and 3, and then we can see which one's the lowest one that they have in common. So that's how we're going to find the new denominator that we're going to convert both fractions into having. So for 2, the next multiples are 4 and then 6. For 3, the next one is 6. 6 is the lowest one that they have in common. So 6 is going to be our new denominator for both fractions. So since we're converting it, what's the numerator of the fraction if we're trying to make it equal to 1/2? So 2 times 3 is equal to 6, so we're going to multiply the top by 3 as well. So it's going to be 3/6. For 1/3, 3 times 2 is equal to 6, so 1 times 2 is equal to 2. And so now we have 2 equivalent fractions. We just rewrote the problem, but both fractions now have a denominator of 6. And we can add because now they have the same denominator. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. And our answer is 5/6. Let's do it again with the next problem. 5 and 8. So we're going to list out the multiples of each of these denominators until we get to something that they have in common. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Now for 8, it's 8, 16, 32, or sorry, that's not right. 16, 24, 32, and then 40. So 40 is the first one that they have in common. So we're going to try 40. So both fractions will have a denominator of 40. For 2/5, 5 times 8 is equal to 40. So we're going to multiply 2 times 8, which is 16. 8 times 5 is equal to 40, so 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Now they have the same denominator, and we have 2 equivalent fractions. We just rewrote the problem, but with a denominator of 40, so we can add. 16 plus 15 is equal to 31. And then our denominator is 40 again. And we can't simplify this any further, so we have our answer is 31 over 40. Now let's look at our next problem, 3/4 plus 1/6. Let's list out multiples to see what the least common multiple of both 4 and 6 is. 4, 8, 12, and 6, the next one is 12. So 12 is the first one they have in common. Our new problem will have the denominator of 12. 4 times 3 is equal to 12, 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 6 times 2 is equal to 12, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. Then we can add, 9 plus 2 is equal to 11 over 12, and our answer is 11/12. So now we have one less problem. we're still going to do the same thing even though both numbers are mixed fractions. So 6, 12, 18, 24, and then 8, 16, 24. 24 is the first one they have in common. So we can just rewrite like normal, 3, and our new fraction has a denominator of 24 plus 1. And now we can convert the numerators of the fractions. So 6 times 4 is equal to 24. 1 times 4 is equal to 4. 8 times 3 is equal to 24. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. So then we can add. So we first add the whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. And then we do 4 plus 9 is equal to 13 over the 24. So our answer is 4 and 13 24ths. That concludes our practice for adding fractions with different denominators. And this time we have practiced when we have denominators that don't fit, that one of them doesn't fit perfectly into the other, so we have to make a new denominator. Okay, thanks for listening, and see you next time.